Hey everybody, it's NW Order for Life, back again with Saint Seiya Soul of Gold Episode 8 review. It's been about 2 weeks, maybe a little more, that I haven't made any videos. Part of that is because I work, part of that was because my computer was in the shop for a week getting fixed. And part of that is because, on days that I did have the computer and that I was off, some days I just have no energy. And it's really a problem for me. I think it's because I'm vitamin D deficient or whatever. But yeah, today I feel really energized and I'm going to catch up on all the Soul Gold episodes. I'm going to do Dragon Ball Super. And hopefully everything will be smooth from here on out. So with Saint Seiya Soul of Gold episode 8, we have two Gold Saint, technically three Gold Saint fights. We've got Shaka versus Balder. We have uh, Doko versus, very briefly, the God Warrior with the Scythe, which I'll look up his name right now because I forget it. And then we also have Mu going against Fafnir, only to relinquish that position to Deathmask when he comes in to fight Fafnir. And so I forget what that Scythe guy's name is, and I can't look it up right now. But what I want to say is that Shaka in this episode was perfectly true to his character. Shaka was just like in the classic series, arrogant and completely overconfident on his abilities. And it turns out in this situation that he's right to be because he ends up winning. But he uses all the old school techniques that he's ever had. He uses the Rikudu to send the six pets to send the person's soul to choose whether they will go to uh, the six parts of hell, or is it? Yeah, and then the seventh one is heaven, or is it the five parts of hell and then one is heaven? I forget. Um, and then he uses Shinimuyu, which is the souls that he fights with. Using the um, like the skull head things that come out of him that he attacks with, and he uses his ultimate technique, Tenbyu Hoden, and so it was really cool. Shaka was at his optimum, that he's ever been. He was just at the top of his game. And the new character, the God Warrior fighting him, Balder, is a God Warrior that has the power of a god. He believes it's the power from Odin, but it's not. Shaka shows him at the end. Because Athena told Shaka from Elysium that Odin is not responsible for anything that's happening right now in Asgard. And so Balder has this power where he's like, I don't know, he exudes the presence of a god. He's kind of like immortal in a sense where he can't really be killed by injuries and things of that nature. He feels nothing, no pain or injuries, everything heals, whatever. And he has the ability to summon like these Valkyrie things. And that's his theme, kind of. His theme is like Valhalla, stand in the clouds, use Valkyries to attack for him, and works out nicely for him until Shaka reveals that you know that what Balder is believing is an illusion. It's a lie. As a child, Balder tells Shaka that he was going to die in poverty, and then Odin gave him this godhood, and then Balder learned that in order to be a god, you have to be ruthless and show no mercy and things of that nature. And Shaka basically tells him that that's exactly why he's not a god, because he has no compassionate heart for anything. He's just a human with the power of a god, essentially. And Shaka raises his cosmos to the limit and brings out his ultimate gold, his god cloth, and basically uses Tenbu Hoden and destroys Balder's power and knocks him and takes him out. And then Balder loses the power of the fake god that gave him that power. I don't want to spoil. And Shaka tells him, or rather, yeah, and then Balder says that he gets that feeling back, the crying and emotion, gets his heart back. That was what was stolen from him, when he got the power, his compassionate heart, his love for others, all that was stolen from him. So he gets that back, and then simultaneously he gets all the pain that he's ever experienced in his life as this god character. He gets all that pain come back to his body. His body is in tormenting agony, and Shaka uses the Tembu Horin to take away his five senses so that he can't feel any pain. And or I don't know if the five. I think it just takes away one, the sense of touch, so that he can't feel the pain. And Balder dies in peace, happy that Shaka revealed this truth to him. And then Doko is fighting the scythe guy. Briefly, he was like one instance in the episode we see Doko actually going against the scythe guy, and it's just showing Lithia using evil powers or whatever to manipulate. And that's pretty much it. And then we have Mu with Fafnir in the beginning. Mu is struggling against Fafnir. Recall in the previous episode, Fafnir was getting owned by Mu, but then all of a sudden he just started using the Dark Sapphire and just started scaring Mu or whatever. And I think Mu was taken down briefly in the fight before Deathmask shows up. And Deathmask says leave Fafnir to him because he's pissed off that Fafnir is killed his new girlfriend, essentially, who Deathmask was interested in, and is, he wants revenge. So Deathmask sends Fafnir to the underworld with his Sekishiki Meikaiha, and unfortunately for Deathmask, in the underworld, this guy's Deus Ex Machina is that Fafnir gets stronger with the souls of the dead. So he's pretty much overpowering Deathmask completely, and it's only by thinking about the girl, that Deathmask keeps wanting to fight, and for her, and also Fafnir taunts Deathmask with the children, the souls of the children. I guess her younger brothers and sisters, or maybe it's just children she was looking after. I'm not sure. I forget. But they're there in the underworld, and the Yometz guy, I forget what it's called, the pit. It's like the hole that leads to hell, where the dead souls walk. It's like in between life and death, where Deathmask actually sends you with the wave. And they're walking there, towards the pit. Deathmask is like, no, and Fafnir is basically, if you kill me, those souls are going to die. They're going to go, there's no way to bring them back, whatever. And Deathmask raises Cosmos to the limit and uses this new move, which is called Underworld Shackles, and he shackles Fafnir, causing all the souls that Fafnir absorbed to be taken out of his god robe. Is that what they're called? The Asgard robes? Yeah, I think it's just called robes. So it's taken out of his robe, and then shackles Fafnir to the ground, almost like enveloping his body inside the ground, and the dead souls just step on his face as they go to hell. So that's pretty cool. And for some reason, by shackling Fafnir, I guess maybe by breaking Fafnir's power, destroying his robe, he was able to free the kids' souls from being in the underworld, because they technically weren't dead. I think Fafnir said they were in between life and death. So once his power was kind of destroyed, he the souls of those kids were brought back to the real world and back to their bodies. So and that was pretty much it. That's what happened with the Gold Stain fights, and I gotta say, Shaka, like I said, impressed me in terms of how they wrote his character. He was really true to Virgo Shaka in the past, and I really had no complaints about Shaka's fight, and everything was just same old with Shaka, which was fine because we haven't seen it in a long time. So it was fine that they went the safe and sure route with Shaka. With Deathmask, again, my problem is that he's fighting for these kids' souls, and in the classic Sanctuary arc, he decorated the souls of people. He turned the souls of dead people into masks, and he put the mask on his in his temple, including or in his house, including the children. Women and children were turned into masks and hanging around his. So he was evil incarnate in the original classic Saint Seiya, and we only know that in the Hades saga, he came back and agreed to work for Athena. Agreed to be part of the Pope Shion's plan. We don't know why. We never know why that he had this humongous change of heart. So what they did in the classic series was they had Canon was completely evil, and he made Saga go evil by tainting him. And then all of a sudden, after Poseidon, when Canon was defeated and watched as the ocean sanctuary crumbled, he was presumed dead because we just see that the ocean was crumbling around him. We think, oh, he's probably going to die, because how's he going to survive that? And then we see him in the Hades saga, and he's a good guy, and he's fighting for Athena. He's 100% 180 turn, compared to what he was. But they gave us an explanation for it. They told us that Canon saw Athena's light, that her warmth radiated over him and melted his heart and washed away all his evil, and also gave him a way to get out of there, I guess. And that was the explanation we needed. So why can't they do something similar with Deathmask? Why can't we get a flashback of Deathmask saying, after I died and I was in hell, Athena's light shined on me, and for the first time I realized how wrong, something of that nature. This is what a flashback is for. A flashback is not so that you can, pack in useless content and delay the episode. It's not so that you can go on and on and on in developing a character. A flashback is mainly used to explain something that you weren't able to come up with before. So if you're writing a story, if you're writing a script, and you're like, oh my God, I should have did that. I really should have made this point known about this character. Now it's too late. Well, guess what? If the character, died, or if the character, is coming back and you don't understand how, you can use a flashback. And a flashback is just you insert a scene of what happened in the past, and that's it. And then, wow, all of a sudden you're up to speed. You know what's going on, and things make sense. And that's what they should have did with Deathmask here. They should have made things make sense as to why all of a sudden he cares about these kids. As to why his heart was opened up to even like a girl, instead of being the psychopathic murderer that he once was. But they just took for granted that, oh, he was good in the Hades saga, and that's good enough. I mean, Kurumada didn't need to tell us why Deathmask was good in the Hades saga, because it wasn't about Deathmask. He didn't have a one-on-one fight. He didn't, do anything really. All he did was just he agreed to the plan, and then he ends up dying, and then, in a really failed way, by the way, and then it comes back on the Wailing Wall as a spirit and is good with all the other Gold Saints. So, I mean, yeah, there was no room or reason why Deathmask needs to be expanded on, why he turned good. But in this, when he's got all this development and he's fighting and, being presented as his own new character, you need to know what the change was. Because the change sure as heck wasn't, that he saw a pretty girl. That just doesn't work, So that's my only gripe with that. The episode for me gets a solid 8 out of 10 because Shaka's fight was awesome. I did like the shackle move from Deathmask, and I think the story is going pretty well so far. So that's my opinion on that. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Please, I know I haven't updated the videos in a while, but if you like my videos, please subscribe. I will keep doing them. I will finish Soul of Gold and Dragon Ball Super and my One Piece chapter reviews. So subscribe if you want to see those. And thank you for watching. Please comment below. Thumbs up the video if you like it. Have a nice day.